Hi, my name's Logan Keys, and we're here today to go through a squat progression. Our first exercise will be a bodyweight squat. Participant's going to squat down, driving off of his heels. The reason why we're doing this is to get a full assessment of how our participant can squat before we get into more complex things. Once we can see that the participant can squat well, we're going to introduce a resistance band around our waist of our client, forcing his body to drive forward through resistance, still pushing off of his heels. See how his body's going a little bit forward? We don't want to see that. We want to see a nice big chest. Not bad, getting better. Good. Everything gets better with practice. We will now introduce a kettlebell and what we like to call a goblet squat, which participant's going to again drive down, push weight forward, forcing his back to be stable. Good, and back up. Excellent. Once we see a client can do this well, we're going to introduce our barbell. For this purpose, it's not that large. We're going to do a jump squat progression before we actually are holding the bar on ourselves, in which the client's going to let the bar drop down his knees, drive up off the ground. It's a very explosive plyometric movement that's directly applicable to sports. Good. One more, please. Excellent. We are now going to have our client look at doing a front squat, simply without weight to start, of course, as we would with everything, to see how he can handle a squat bearing a barbell. Good. And a drive up. One more, please. Excellent. Once we see that we can do this, we're going to now put the barbell on our back. We're going to perform box squats. Again, this is a more complex exercise. Adding weight is always an option. As they show that they can do so, he's going to squat down, deload the weight a little bit, pop right up. Very explosive exercise. Good. One more, please. Have you ever worked out before?
No.
Okay. Barbell step-ups will be our last and final progression associated with squats. Our client's going to step up, driving off his heel, one leg, and drive forward, finishing the exercise coming through the hip. A very explosive exercise again, much more complex than the initial bodyweight squat, and that's the full progression. Hi, Logan Keys back again. We're here to evaluate kettlebell swings. We're going to be looking at ultimately building up to a one-arm kettlebell swing alternating. Complex movement, so we're going to bring that from the ground up, starting with our warm-up, all the way to that complex progression. Here we go. To warm up here, because we're focusing a lot on our hips and glutes, I like to do a three-way hip mode as our first exercise. Client's going to drive back with one leg, keeping it straight, and then going up and down. We're going to start to activate the glute. Good. We want to keep the lumbar area very stable throughout exercises like this. He's keeping his shoulders broad, and he's getting a good warm-up. The three-way hip mode also entails a straight leg, continual backfire, so he's going to keep his leg straight. Good. He's just going to flex that up from there and stop. Good. We're really contracting the glute. Once we've done 10 on each, we're going to bring that leg in, and we're going to go to the side. Some people call these fire hydrants. You get the joke. Good. Once we've warmed up our hip modes, we will then proceed into a body weight squat. So the client's going to stand up. He's going to do a body weight squat. Again, essential to pretty much any type of lower body movement, the squat. We assess that. He's good to go. He's warming up. We're getting him into glute bridges now. Client's on his back, supine position, driving off his heels, keeping our toes up the entire time. Up, good. He's driving with his glutes. Again, we really want to start to warm that hip extension up, because as we add kettlebells and add weight, that's where our power is going to come from, is our hips. We're going to do resistance band pull-throughs, which is one of my favorite exercises to warm up the body for kettlebell swings. Resistance will be here. Client will mimic a kettlebell swing by driving back and through the glutes. Good. In order, again, to continue to warm up the body, to continue to get acclimated to that motion. Excellent. Once we've done so, we'll introduce our kettlebell. Again, we always want to start light, especially with compound movements like this. Depending on client's experience, things can vary. He's going to do a 2-arm kettle swing straight on the camel for you. He's going to go down. He's going to drive that kettlebell up, and he's going to pull it right down as it gets up shoulder level. He's going to pull it down quick. Good. He's going to force his body to accept it. Excellent. Freeze. Our last and most complex exercise is going to be now 1-arm kettlebell swings, which can be the foundation to future snatching with kettlebells, as well as other complex exercises such as high pulls. But for today, this is where we're going to be. He's going to drive down again, pulling it up, and he's going to switch hands. Excellent. The light weight is driving him up. If it's a heavier weight, it's going to tend to pull the body down. This is the final progression. Thanks for tuning in.